big day here in Canberra. We have a new Liberal Party leader. For the first time in the party's more than 80-year history, it is a woman. Sussan Ley elected. She was deputy before. She won in a tight vote. Her first job will be making sure the party can stick together as it tries to take it up to Anthony Albanese and his big majority Labor government. Let's go live to political correspondent Cameron Redden. He's outside the Liberal Party room here in Parliament House where all the action happened. Cam, we're going to hear from the new team. What did we hear on the way out so far?
Yeah, early afternoon, Tom, is when I'm told we'll be hearing from Sussan Ley and Ted O'Brien, the new leader and deputy leader of the Liberal Party, to make their first address to the nation, their first mission statement, really, as the Liberal Party begins this rebuild, which could be 3 years, could be 6 years, could be more, given the starting position that they have with the numbers in Parliament. The party room meeting here for the first time this morning to decide their leader after Peter Dutton lost his seat last Saturday night at the election. It was a tight vote, not the one vote margin that Tony Abbott and Malcolm Turnbull saw in 2009, but if just 3 people changed their minds, there may have been a different result. The final numbers 29 to 25 in Sussan Ley's favour as leader. Angus Taylor failing in that endeavour to lead his party. It also meant that his ticket with Jacinta Price did not progress to its second stage. In other words, Jacinta Price did not end up putting her hand up as deputy leader. She is sitting, though, in this Liberal Party room for the first time, with a new leadership duo now putting their heads together in a meeting where they're discussing those words that they will make public and the mission statement when we hear from them in the course of the next hour or so. That meeting is ongoing right now, is my understanding. We did speak to some of those Liberal Party members as they made their way out of the room following this result, which, as you mentioned, is an historic one for the party, now led for the first time by a woman. New era, new direction?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we've got to demonstrate that the Liberal Party is listening to the people of Australia and learning. I'm very pleased to be a part of that, and it's time to rebuild and get on with it.
Today the party room's cast a vote in a democratic process. I think that's all we can ask for. We get on with it.
We have a big job to do. It's not just on the leader, it's us as a party to unify, make sure that we support her, put the right policies in place, and that comes about from listening. So there are a lot of lessons from this result as a party we need to take, and we have to do it as a collective.
Good to be back in Canberra, Tim.
I don't miss the icy mornings.
Happy with the result?
Thank you very much.
Does it work a switch, Senator Price?
I'll be making comments in due course.
One of those big complicating factors you saw there of this party room, but also of the Nationals party room yesterday, was the role of Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa Price. I mentioned sitting with her now Liberal colleagues for the first time. She was supporting Angus Taylor in the vote, but put out a statement in the short time after that vote was completed. She says that while she was disappointed that Angus Taylor wasn't elected the leader, she respects the decision made by her new colleagues, going on to say that she recognises she's new to the party, and I'm grateful that our party is one that afforded me the opportunity to consider putting myself forward for the position of deputy leader, adding that while the outcome today is not the one she would have wanted, it in no way lessens my commitment to the Liberal Party and the broader coalition. There's a feeling and an appetite now for broader renewal within the Liberal Party, not just in the leadership ranks, but also on the front bench. There are question marks over who will be the shadow treasurer. Will Angus Taylor continue in that role, or will it be given to somebody else? We're yet to see what his future holds in the party. We can show you some of the reaction from the Labor side already targeting Ted O'Brien in particular, who was the tip of the spear for the coalition when it came to selling the plan for nuclear power. Already the Energy Minister, who's just been sworn in again in that role this morning, Chris Bowen, taking aim on social media at Ted O'Brien, renewing that claim of a $600 billion tag for nuclear. Also, Tom, it's worth watching that while we wait for Sussan Ley and Ted O'Brien to speak publicly later this afternoon, this now puts the coalition agreement in question. My understanding is that Sussan Ley and the appetite on her side is to wait, is to reassess the policy offerings that the Liberal Party will put forward and what their positions will be before entering into any serious negotiations with the National Party, which even yesterday was suggesting that it's not an ironclad guarantee that it will remain committed to something like a net zero target by 2050 after Matt Canavan's challenge to the leadership of David Littleproud. So the leadership offerings, at least for the two coalition partners, are now set. Sussan Ley, Ted O'Brien, the deputy leader and leadership team. They'll go about setting up their front bench and their policy offerings over the coming days and weeks, but we will hear their first pitch to voters Well, they're not going to vote for 3 years, Tom, but their first pitch is a leadership duo in the next hour and a bit or so.